Welcome, everybody. Here we are with Zayah Playa.
Yes, sir.
What are you playing?
I'm playing the game, man. You know, it's like it was really like a childhood nickname. I feel like the best way to describe it is like making plays. Like, you know, life is a game. It's all about how you go about that shit. Like there's never one right answer to shit, and it's like Madden. I be playing Madden too, but shit, like, nah, just in general, like, just making the right play. I feel like making the right decisions, being on course.
Damn.
It ain't about having hoes, no shit like that. I'm loyal. Shout out Karina, Twin Flame.
Already off the bat, we're starting with some deep shit. But okay, let's get out all the basic stuff. Where are you from? What's your name? Full name? You don't have to say your legal. You don't have to say your government if you don't want to. But what's your name? Where are you from? Where'd you go to school? Stuff like that, you know, because I know you have a degree. So just talk about the basic life stuff, knock that stuff out before we get into your process and how you do shit.
Little bio. Okay, so from Phoenix, Arizona. Shout out West Side. Full name is Izayah McQueen. I know I used to always get the Lightning McQueen jokes. Like, that shit's so funny. Like, I'm older than the movie, bruh. Leave me alone. Damn. Like, all the time. Like, people think they're the first one to come up with that shit. But yeah, so Izayah McQueen.
Do you still get that now at our grown age?
Any first impression I get with somebody is always a McQueen joke. And it's like, it'd be somebody with the last name like Johnson or something. Like, I can't make no joke about that. Like, yeah, no, I'm from Phoenix. I was there till I was 9. Moved out to Houston for my dad's work. And then he was there for like a year. So it was really a waste. But I mean, shout out H-Town. Still adjusting to it. 12 years later.
I was about to say, damn.
You know, because Arizona is just such like a beautiful place. Like that's my hometown for real. Like,
gotcha.
It's like I was young there, but it's like my best memories. I feel like it's like, you know how on TV shows, like sometimes they look back and it's like bright colors, and sometimes they look back and it's like dark colors.
Yeah.
Like all my bright colored memories are in Arizona. Like that's
beautiful.
Yeah, no.
You gotta start making some bright colored memories here.
I know it's like I have them, but I feel like the nostalgia to it is just different. Like,
gotcha.
Like, you know how in Breaking Bad, like when they're in Mexico, like everything's just
yellow.
Yeah.
Got that Mexico tint.
Yeah. See, and Arizona is right there. That's my little Mexico.
Gotcha. Beautiful. So where'd you go to school?
I went. Okay, let me start from the beginning. I went to Quentin Elementary. I went to Rio Vista Elementary. Yep. Rio Vista is in Arizona. It's actually K through 12. That was crazy.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, you can't do a K through 12 out here. You can't get away with that.
Just because the school would be fucking massive.
Yeah. So I went to Bama Elementary, Bama Middle, Westfield High. Shout out Westfield. And then I went to Full Sail out in Florida. But I ain't go to Florida. I really it was all on my laptop.
Gotcha.
So I could work full-time throughout it. And it was an accelerated program. But I got my Bachelor's of Science, Music Production. Shout out Full Sail. I don't got a sign for y'all, but shout out Full Sail.
Like a F. I don't know.
I don't want to throw up no accidental gang
sign.
Oh, true. Yeah, no, so that's my academic experience.
All right, got you. So I guess we'll start off with where did you first find your love in music? Because you clearly, if you're going into school for music, you've had that. Yeah. Where did that first start?
My dad and my cousin Quan, like they used to like rap like a lot, like not really like try to take it seriously as a career, but like just
freestyle?
Rapping. Yeah, my dad had a little setup. We would make like little songs back out in Arizona. They moved out here in our house. We actually built they actually built like a nice studio. Like he built like a booth in the corner. He built like this desk, had the displays, speakers, like all of that. Like he built that from scratch, and it was like really nice. So back then they wouldn't really let me on those songs because, you know, my voice is like up here,
high pitched.
So they wouldn't let me on those songs for it. But like I used to always like write. Like I was nice with it back then. I remember we used to play Call of Duty, and one of my earliest things I remember writing is like Desert Eagle, surprise is legal, and then I went to like M4 carbine is mine, and that shit was so hard in my head, and I'm like 10. Like I don't even know if these guns are real for real. I just see them in video games. But yeah, so back then they wouldn't let me rap, so I never really took music like seriously. And then there's even a point through like maybe like 3rd and 4th grade where it's like I didn't like listen to music just on my own. Like if I heard it somewhere, like cool, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like I mean, deep down, it's like I feel like I liked it, but I don't know. Something about me was just like, okay, I'm cool off the music.
I mean, it was also accessibility. What do you, if you're 7 years old, how are you going to be like, let me pull up this to play this? Like, you're not going to have shit, right?
Yeah.
You got to either hear it on the radio or have your parents be playing it around you. You're not gonna. There's nothing you can do to play it.
Yeah, no. Shout out my parents. They had all the R&B classics, the Elder Barges, the Princes, Backstreet. That
was actually one of the questions I was going to ask you later on. Is what was the music that you heard in your house growing up?
Oh, I can think. Okay, my earliest memory, and I don't know why. Every time I hear this song, I see the same thing. It's Zapp and Roger, I Want to Be Your Man. And it's like, it got like a little talk box in it. I want to be your man. That shit goes so hard. Like, even to this day, like, I still listen to that hoe. Cause, like, it's such a banger, bro. But, like, one of my first memories is, like, I don't know, we were, like, in my kitchen or something. I had to be, like, real young. Because I couldn't speak at the time. Like, I just remember, like, pink cake batter. And this little light that we had, it was like one of those picture lights. It was like a Detroit skyline. And we had that in the kitchen. And I just remember the smell of pink cake batter and just that song playing. And that's like one of the main like early childhood songs. But man, we used to be on all the older R&B, So Into You, Weak by, what's her name? I Get So Weak in My Knees. Bro, like all the old R&B. All of it, man. Go ahead.
Oh no, you can keep going. I had my next question lined up.
Man, a lot of older rap shit. We liked NWA a lot. Then, because I don't want to sound like Logic here, but like I'm mixed, so it's like I had two different diverse. Like my dad showed us more like the NWA stuff, but even my mom was big into NWA, but she was big into like the Foo Fighters, like to this day, like the Eagles, like she'll always tell us about, you don't know this rock song? Like I failed as a parent. Like, okay, thanks. Like I don't know what I'm supposed to say to that. But surprisingly, my dad actually played songs about Jane, I think, by Coldplay a lot. Or no, Maroon 5. That's Maroon 5. So yeah, those two albums, well, Coldplay, I forgot which one it was, whichever one has yellow. But like on road trips, he used to go on a lot of road trips. So like a lot of, like I call it my dad's white guy music, because like he plays like a lot of like black people music, and I'm not saying that like just buy black people, buy white people, or whatever the case may be. But he had like a good selection of like white people music. Like he had some of the top tier in my head. Jumper by Third Eye Blinds. That's
I gotta start writing this down. Damn, you're spitting right now.
Yeah, it's a loaded question.
Okay, I got you. That question was then gonna lead into how do you feel that those have influenced you now with the music you make now, if at all or heavily?
Okay, so something I forgot to mention that actually ties into that question is my cousin Quan used to play a lot of Tupac, like huge on Tupac. Like we idolized Tupac in the house type shit, and
had to.
Yeah, definitely. But I feel like that's definitely a big influence. I feel like all of it really comes into different aspects of my production. Like it depends on what kind of vibe I'm going for. Yeah. It's like there's certain things that I take from different artists. For Tupac, I take, at least in his earlier stuff, like the humanity of it, the relatability, and it's like, I'm not that deep as a person to be, like, I'm not gonna make no keep your head up, but like, I'm gonna bop that shit, and
very few people are Tupac, so I think that's a very high bar for you to reach for.
Yeah, but I always try to keep like some soul in the music, like some real, like I don't like criticize people who like lie in their music and nothing like that, but it's like I feel strongly against doing it myself. Like I can't, whatever I put on a song, like that's me. Like you don't gotta ask no questions about that. You don't gotta ask, did you really do this? Did that really happen? Unless like it's just a dope ass punchline that I'm making. Like nah, like that was me. Like that was me for real.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, then so I have a question about that then. I feel like in my experience, a lot of rap is being braggadocious. It is being very exaggerated, being very vocal about what you believe in. And in some parts it is lying, right? It is almost, I'm not the best now, but I'm gonna talk like I'm the best, right? Even though I think I might be the best later. So where do you, I guess, draw the line, or is it like no line whatsoever, or are you willing to drop a bar like greatest in the town or something? Where's your line?
So see, to me, it's like a tightrope, really, because it's like, I feel like naturally I'm a humble person, but I feel like a lot of times people like to sleep on me because of that. Like, not even just me, but just in general. Like, even like J. Cole with the whole Kendrick and Drake thing, like, he's getting slept on because he don't say shit like that. Yeah. So it's like, I'm trying to like...
He's not outwardly dissing anybody. He's constantly saying, "Oh, we're the big three. We're the big three." Whereas Kendrick is coming out saying, "No, it's just me." Right? So, I guess something like that. Where would you draw the? I mean, that's a bad example to give because Kendrick probably is. He is probably. It is probably just him. So, but where do you see yourself, like, in terms of lying, quote unquote, about being the best, even if you aren't?
So see, I can't go out there and say I feel like I am the best, because I know there's people better than me, but I don't see it as me competing with everybody else. I'm competing with me. If I say I'm my best me. Like, that's right. You're not seeing me better than this in the past. Like, that's why most songs that I drop, I try to, like, better than the last is how I be trying to go with it. Like, the next shit I'm finna drop, like, well, I guess not the next, but the next after that, like, bro, that shit, that's the one where I'm finna show people, like, hey, just because I'm on some chill rap shit, don't think I can't go out there and spit. Like, hell yeah. I can hang if I really want to, but I'm just trying to make some vibes. That's
cool. Yeah, that's what I meant. But let's backtrack here. These are questions I was gonna ask later on. Let me go back to high school. So you talked a lot about growing up, elementary, but what about high school? What were you doing with music in high school?
High school, so okay. Well, to answer that, I'm gonna have to go a little bit back.
That's fine.
In middle school, I started playing trumpet. Oh, I missed the whole part about the artist part, but like a lot of jazz music, I like Miles Davis, heavy on that. Louis Armstrong, heavy on that. Yeah. Nat King Cole, heavy on that. Like a lot of old jazz, I also liked growing up. And I don't know how I ended up coming across that, because my parents aren't even big into jazz, but I don't know. It came from somewhere.
Yeah,
but,
someone must have been playing it.
Yeah, so I went, in middle school, we went to try out for band, because I knew I wanted to play trumpet. And they always audition you on all these mouthpieces, and I couldn't make the sound on the trumpet mouthpiece, but I could make it on a clarinet mouthpiece. They wanted me to play clarinet. And I was like, I don't want to play clarinet. So my mama told him, like, nah, he's going to play trumpet. Yeah. Like, she told him, like, I was kind of puss back then, but like she told him, like, nah, he's gonna play trumpet. So I ended up playing trumpet. Got cold at it.
Nice.
Whew. Yeah. So
you want to drop a diss track for that teacher that said no?
Ooh, that's a whole story right there. That's an off-camera story. I'm going to tell all y'all about that. That shit was crazy. No names, no face, no case. But yeah.
So then into high school, you continued to play trumpet?
Yeah, so I played trumpet. I actually had to make a decision between band and football, which I was tough. Like 4'10" in 8th grade. So I was already kind of leaning towards band because I liked band, but I liked football. I played cornerback. I was pretty cool at it, and except for that one time they put a 6-foot receiver on me, I was toast. He had a one-handed catch on me, bro. I was like, bench me. Nah, but I seen my big brother Justice, man. He was like, in the whole neighborhood, he was always like that's the one that's going to the NFL. Like, he gonna make it type shit. Like, everybody was like, yeah, he's the coldest, like, no doubt. And we was playing with kids older than us back then, like years older than us. And like, he was still like, he would burn everybody. He's like a Julian Edelman type, like a small shifty guy, like, but like tough.
Bill, gotcha.
So but we went to one of his spring games. And he tore his ACL on turf. And it was like non-tackle, but he just landed on it wrong. Gotcha. And it's like there's a video of it my mom has. You could almost hear the pop. And it's like that, like, that was the most pain I've seen him in. Yeah. This is my brother. Like, we're a year apart. Like, we've been like, we've been twinning since the beginning. Like, so.
And that's what shifted you towards band?
Yeah, definitely. I was like, okay, well, I'm not doing that, because if he's hurt like that,
you want your ACLs intact.
I want to be able to walk when I'm 50.
Gotcha. Yeah. So, are there any notable moments in high school? with in band playing the trumpets? Oh, horns. My bad. Sorry.
Yeah, no. Let me think. Marching bands was cool. It was good physical activity, so it's kind of like I kept it in the sport, but I really, it's people always have that argument. Is marching band a sport? Blah blah blah. Like to an extent, but like it's not football. Like you can't. I feel like there's levels to sports. To some people, chess is a sport.
Yeah,
but like. You don't gotta. You can be bigger than anybody playing chess, but you can't be that same build playing basketball. So sport is a subjective word, just like art.
Gotcha.
But I'm sorry. What was the question?
We go on a tangent about sports. No, you're good. It was basically notable moments in terms of what your career is now. Is there anything notable that happened in high school to like affect you then?
Yeah. So let me see. So really, in high school, like I was in bands, but I wanted to do like jazz stuff. We had a jazz band for a little bit, but my schedule never aligned with it. So I was always stuck in concert bands, marching bands. And I was working like since sophomore year, like throughout after every practice, after everything, I was taking Uber rides to Texas Roadhouse, put in my busboy shifts.
Damn.
So I was in high school. Really, I don't know if it was insomnia or what, but I was not sleeping. Like, the only time I would get sleep was at school. So,
oh, shit.
But flying colors, I passed. Like, it's Westfield. You don't gotta be the biggest of brains. Like, but nah. Let me see. Production wise, I started. So like sophomore year, I started making beats on GarageBand.
Okay.
Because I knew I wanted to start rapping again, but it's like I would look up like YouTube, like type beats, and I would kind of write to them, but it's like. I don't know if it's my pride or what, but like I always felt like, man, like that's not mine. Like,
you have to make it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I started making beats on my phone on GarageBand.
Yeah.
It was like the iPhone 7 maybe around that time. And
you said this was sophomore year?
Sophomore year.
I think because the iPhone 6 came out freshman year. So it was the iPhone 7.
Yeah. So I was making beats on the iPhone 7. I was staying with my dad a lot at the time. Because my parents got divorced like right before going into high school. So I was kind of trying the both homes thing. Yeah. Which there was no like custody shit, that. I was just bouncing between whenever I wanted. So a lot of times I go to my dad. He had a little Amazon Alexa. Yeah. And I would just be like, play. What I had heavy in rotation at that time was Kendrick Lamar, Untitled Unmastered. Oh, yeah. Track 3, bro. That's like my favorite one right there. Like, so I used to always tell her, but the names on the songs are like Untitled, oh this, oh that, like the date.
Because it's just numbers, And
it's like the Alexa don't got no screen, so I just had to remember the name. Like, play this. And I was listening to that, and I'll be on my phone just making little beats, whatever. Because we didn't have no PlayStation there. We didn't. Not like he was poor there or nothing. Like we just had TV and music. So
Gotcha.
I just work on my little music or whatever. Then I want to say it was like senior year. Me and Makari, you met Makari. Yeah. Makari is my other. I got a lot of twin flames in life, but like that's been my homie since 3rd grade for real.
Did he move with you from Arizona?
Nah.
Oh, you met him here.
I was 3rd grade was my first year here.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
And he was actually Justice's best friend first, and then he became my best friend. So Justice always beats me at everything. So that motherfucker there, but so me and Makari got twin laptops. They're like these little bitty, like 4 gigabyte RAM starter stuff from Best Buy. Shout out Best Buy, I guess, for the snowball mic.
Pay us.
Yeah, sponsorship. I put a logo right here. My name is type shit. But so we bought twin laptops, and that's when I first like started producing on the laptop. So that was around junior year. There's this DAW out there, DAW, Digital Audio Workstation, for anybody watching who don't know. Yep. LMMS. Hey, if anybody wants to produce and you broke, LMMS. Remember them 4 letters for anything, bro. It's a DAW that's where I learned like everything on a like a laptop setup, and I was making some heat even back then, like on the free, like them free drum packs off Reddit, like them free plugin VSTs from freeplugins.org. Like I was on my grind with no money.
Gotcha. Do you have any of those beats still?
I do.
You listen back to them?
Sometimes I got a lot of them on email, but then I got a lot of them on a flash drive. But there's one specifically that was like, it's still to me like one of my best beats. Like it's not like a hard aggressive beat. Like
Yeah.
it's really happy jolly type shit. But
Yeah.
like I was actually working on that at my dad's, and he came in there like he don't be in touch with the music as much now as he used to be. But he came in there, he was just like he was like, that needs a saxophone on it.
Ooh.
I'm like, first of all, you know what a saxophone is? But nah, I downloaded off of freeplugins.org this little alto saxophone VST. Now there's one little melody on top, put some reverb on it, a little splash on it.
Yeah.
And ooh, like I'm gonna have to send that to you so you can play it for the video.
Okay, gotcha. We'll make that the intro.
Yeah, that hoe was crazy, bro. Like I be listening back to that and I'm like, what was I on back then? Like, and how do I find it? Like,
find that inspiration.
For real.
Yeah. So you started producing 10th grade with GarageBand, got more into it, 11th grade, 12th grade.
Yeah.
When did you decide you wanted to do that as for school?
So, okay, that was actually senior year. I was trying to, I was thinking about going to play trumpet in college, but it's like, at that point, I was kind of getting burnt out from it. Like, I love playing trumpet, don't get me wrong, but like, trumpet players are kind of douchebags.
Gotcha.
They're that braggadocious that I'm not really on.
Gotcha.
And it's like they're competitive, not in like the cool way, but in like the nerd way. Like I can do this one thing better than you. Like, okay, cool. Like, but I used to people from Westfield, y'all might not want to admit it, but I was first chair for a little minute, and I was the only one with the job. So y'all can say who was where, whatever, who made this. I was there. I was there with no practice. So let's talk about it. But so they had this college fair at Westfield, and they had like all these little tables with like different schools and all that. I was thinking I wanted to go to Rice, I wanted to go to PV. Like I was campus mind oriented at first, just because that was always the blueprint laid out for me. Yeah. But I got to the Full Sail table. They're the only ones with like a solid like music production degree. Gotcha. So I was like, okay, well that's interesting. So I just took a flyer or whatever. I was also thinking of going to the Houston Art Institute downtown, or probably somewhere around here. Yeah. But I was thinking of going there. I took a tour there. Looking back, that probably would have been a better move, but it's still shout out Full Sail. Because they got, they got a lot of benefits to it. But I feel like the hands-on experience really would have helped, but I'm finna get that either way. I'm just finna...
Because that's actually going to be my next question was, how do you feel having an online course affected you being able to actually produce music? Was it better? Was it worse? Or did you feel like it didn't matter if it was online or in person?
So... Okay, so there's two aspects to it. So it's engineering and producing. Yeah. For producing, I don't feel like it's much of a difference, because like you can go to school for that, like all 4 years, all whatever, 8 years, 10 years. But it's like if you don't got that creative bone in you, it's not finna be the same. Like I feel like a lot of the beats I even made before school, like still hold up with some of mine now. So it's like sometimes like people try to say like, oh, like, well, he went to school for it, that's why he's good at this, he's good at that. But it's like, bruh, I'm just like that. Yeah. like you can go to the same school. Yeah. You're not doing what I'm doing, like respectfully. Yeah. So like I feel like even just going for it in general, with being such a subjective field, it's like people can try to say like that's the reason I'm at skill wise where I'm at, but like they don't know I've been doing this shit like since beforehand. Like I was already, to me, I was a dope producer by the time I was even there, but like I wanted to get more the engineering side, get more the depths over here. So it's like production wise, don't get me wrong, Full Sail did great. They taught me like how to produce in all different genres. Like the main thing about it is I was able to work full time and still go to school. And I was up late nights a lot, like getting them assignments. 10:58. Ooh, shout out to Makari, bro. He sang on this project that I had to do. It was when he was living with me for a little bit. He sang on this project. He didn't want to sing, but I didn't want to sing. And I was like, hey, bro, just do me this solid. Like, we got that hoe in the nick of time. Damn. Like that bar. Bro, literally, like, 11:58 and 12 seconds. Damn. I turned that in. Because I had to look at my Windows thing to see, like, okay, am I on time? In the nick of time, like, that's like my purest memory of turning in an assignment. Because I was sweating. I was engineering them. Like, I was getting frustrated. Like, sing it. like, I need this grade, bro.
He pulled through.
I pulled through. I'm going to have to, not for the video, but I'm going to have to show you that one, too. That was nice. He just sang on there. I wrote it out for him, whatever. He'd be a good session. Artist.
So we've gone through early life with music in the house. We've gone through school. we went through, pre, degree school. We were talking about high school. We went through getting a degree. What about now? What do you feel like has been the biggest thing that you've learned from? Because you're constantly learning, right?
Yeah.
You're always learning.
Yeah.
You're always learning from your peers, your parents, school, whatever it is. What do you, in the past couple of years since graduating, since getting a degree, where have you learned the most from?
Ooh, that's a good question. You're kind of putting me on the spot. There's good lessons, like lessons that were fun to learn and lessons that weren't. So let me start off with the bad so we can get to the good. A lot of people in the music, like they're not what they say they are. They put like perceptions, like they want to control how you perceive them through camera.
Gotcha.
So like you can meet somebody, like you could look at them on the social feed and think, okay, that's a dope ass, real ass person. You meet them, total opposite. Like,
Gotcha.
and you hear about that a lot with the bigger people, but it's like some of these underground cats be taking the same approach.
Yeah.
Like people always think they too good for something, and I feel like that's one thing that's negative about it. But it's like another thing is like you got to take opportunity when you can get it.
Yeah.
So it's like in my mind, like I could really be the same way as them. Like I could say, okay, no, I'm only taking paid work. Like I'm only doing this because I have a degree. Like I need money from it if I'm finna do it. Like, but like it's art. Like while I paid a lot of fucking money to study art, it's such a subjective field. But it's like you got to know what you're doing it for. Like if you're doing it for money, that's great. Like spit out your music. That's like what's the word? Like assembly line music. Yeah. But like I had to figure out like am I in this for the money or am I in this for the impact, the legacy, the art, like the shit that I make that I'm gonna listen to 20 years down the line, play for my kids and be like, your dad did that shit. Like I can't play no like target ass music and say like I did this. Like and see, but that's two separate things. I could make commercial music for a bag. But I'm not gonna put that on my resume to show I'm that motherfucker. Like I'm gonna put all my shit that I put my heart into. So learning heart versus money in it is one of my biggest lessons.
So those were the bad lessons you took. What are the good ones?
So good lessons, let me think. See, that's there's like so much good in it. Sometimes you don't realize it's a lesson until you're applying it to something else for real. So let me see, good lessons.
Like something happens to you, you don't really know how to take it, but then like when you later realize, oh, this is how I need to apply what I learned, I've now realized that was a good thing that happened to me. Right. I get you.
So, okay, a good one that I just remembered is collaboration. Like I'm real hands-on with everything. Like I usually, my typical process is I make the beat, I write the raps, I put the raps, I mix and master, I make the cover, I put the lyrics in whatever distributor, and then I submit it. Like usually, like I'm on every step,
doing everything,
like and only me. But it's like what I learned with this last release is that sometimes, a lot of times, it's good to like have other input, other feedback. Not that somebody gonna tell me my shit's whack and I'm like, okay, let me rewrite it. But like they can enhance something, or like even just having an extra verse or a hook here and there. Like on this last one, I wrote the hook. I sung the hook for a reference, just like you were talking about with pop music. And I sent it, but when it came back, like it's just how I heard it in my head, like better. Like I didn't hear it in my voice. But like I heard it.
Your vision was that it was a different voice. Your words, but a different voice. And it came out how you wanted it.
Sometimes to get that vision, you're not the only volume or means of communication of that idea. Like there's so much other ways, so much different people that can contribute greatness,
elevate things, give you a different perspective. Maybe they give you something and to tell you to change, and you don't want to change it, but someone else has something else, and you're like, I do want to change it, and it ends up being better. It's still your choice, but hearing these different ideas helps with collaboration. For sure. Let's go back to your process. Do you want to go more into detail about your process with you said producing, writing the raps, mixing and mastering, doing the cover art and putting it out? Because one of the questions I was actually going to ask is, are you the type of person where you need the beat first and then you write, or do you have stuff written down, ideas, accumulating, and then you make a beat, or you find the right beat and then you like what's your process? How do you do it?
So see, the funny thing about that is like there's never been like one solid process. Usually it's like in general the same, but like for example, not this last song I dropped, but the one before that was How I Get By. And when I wrote that one, I didn't have the beat at first. Well, okay, I was making the beat, and I was making it at first, and Makari and Karina were in there with me, and like, we were just talking and shit, and I was making the beat or whatever. I was like, okay, this is cool. But then I went back to it, and I was like, okay, I hear something in this for real. So then it's like I laid it out. Like I put drums, just basic. I just had it as a loop, just going all the way through. Yeah. With this basic chords, melody, drums, just going all the way through. And then I was wanting to write to it, but I'm thinking like, what do I feel about this? And I didn't know what to feel about it. Yeah. But sometimes when I be driving, like I'll just think driving is like one of the most creative times. Like if you, not even like trying, but like sometimes the best ideas just come when you're in your car because all you're focused on is traffic, not things outside. Like you're just focused on getting one place to the next. It's like sometimes I just listen to my beats in the car, but even when I'm not, like I listen to something else and it'll just make me think of something. So when I wrote "How I Get By," I had a bar. It was the first bar of the song. It was I let my liver take the pain that my brain can't, and I was like, oh, that's hard because like when I be sad and going through shit, like, sometimes I just drink. Like, sorry. Like, everybody got their own vices and shit. And it's like, I feel like it's not something to be proud of, but it's something that I can be honest about. So it's like, I just had that one bar sitting there for maybe like a couple weeks. And then I was making the beat. And it's like, the beat didn't sound like it was something I'd rap on until I added the 808s and the drums.
Ooh, yeah.
So then once I had that loop going, and I had this app called Evernote. Yeah. It's a notes app. And I was going to start a new one, but I'm on the free plan. So it told me, like, you don't got no more free ones. So I'm like, fuck. So I got to, I'm just going to have to use the old one. Sometimes I'll start a note and not write nothing on it. Just like writer's block. So I won't write nothing on it. So I just have an empty note there. So I was looking for one. But then I came across I let my liver take the pain that my brain can't. And I heard it with that beat. And I was like, okay.
Gotta use it.
I wrote like both verses like that day, like within like an hour and a half maybe, because like once I was able to connect the two, then I felt it like for real, like inside me, like I felt like, okay, I know where I'm going, I know what this makes me feel like, and that one's one of my most heartfelt songs that I think I've ever made or put out. Like, cause I put out maybe like 8 songs. I've made like 100 probably.
There's a bunch more in the vault than there is out. But so you've talked about your process in terms of writing, gaining inspiration in different places. What about with producing? Where do you start off? Are you the person that starts with the melody, then does the drums? Do you start with the drums? Do you like to sample a lot? Talk us about your process in terms of making the producing.
Okay, that's a loaded question too. So let me start off with how I usually do it. So very seldom will I start with drums, because to me it's like my first step is usually chords. Because to me the chords are the source of like the emotion to it, like what you feel about it. And it's like everything else is so much easier to build around the chords. Like once you got the chords, you can know like not necessarily what key, because you don't have to stay in key. But I mean, like, you have kind of a playground there. Like, okay, now I can make a melody that'll sound good with these chords. And then when I put the drums, it's like, chords is usually always first. Melody or drums just depends on, like, if I already hear the drums when I make the chords, drums are going first. If I already hear melody, then the melody is going first. If I don't hear either, I'll probably lie towards a melody as well. Gotcha. So I'll just kind of make a little melody on there, put my little bass track on there, and then... So my drums order is snares. Usually I keep them on the same beats, just like... I think it's like 2 and 4 maybe, or like based on... I don't know. If y'all listen to my songs, you'll hear where I put the snares. You'll know. Like, they're always there. But then it's snares and then hi-hats. Because it's like once you put them kicks in, like that's the moment you know it's there. Like it's like building up the drums up to the kick is like anticipation all the way. Like once you get that, like that like it feels a little antsy, but once you get that boom, like that's like drop. You know where you're going. Like So usually that's my order of regular production. Sampling, I maybe twice in life I've sampled like somebody else's music. One time was with my cousin Malik. Shout out Malik. He's one of my AZ folks. real tight. My middle name is Naeem. His dad is my Uncle Naeem. So that's
named after his dad. Yeah.
Yeah. So shout out all the Munirs. That's, you know, family. I wouldn't even say second family because we're not blood related, but we're family.
Gotcha.
Anybody doubting that can catch it. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah. So one time I was with him out in AZ. This was like 2021. I was going out for a Cardinals game. And Cardinals smacked the Texans 30. It was like 30 something to 5. Sorry. Hey, shout out Texans. Y'all got C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson. Y'all will be all right. But went out there. I sampled this little piano loop off of Splice just because he was like curious about samples. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I know how to do it. I learned how to do it, so I can show you how I do it. Yeah. And, you know, it made me realize like, wow, that's pretty easy to cook up in 5 minutes. Just sample drums, put different melodies on it. Yeah. You there. Yeah. And then this other time, I was making a beat for this rapper that I actually went to middle school with. He goes by Third Coast D. Shout out Third Coast D. Even though I ain't hear nothing back about the track yet, but I mean, it's not a sample we could clear. It's an Erykah Badu song. But I actually went crazy on that one. I went crazy on that one because he sent a specific song he wanted sampled. Yeah. So I got that, sampled it, and then I added trumpet to it and all that. Like it's a tight ass beat. Like if you don't do nothing with it, I'll probably just put that whole on SoundCloud. Just let people do whatever with it. But so I don't really sample, and it's like I respect sampling like 100%. But it's like to me, it's like again like I'm very hands on. It's like
you need to make that. You need to make that melody.
I need to be the original source. I don't got time for trying to get a sample cleared. And
that's a whole another process. Yeah. Paying for that, getting that shit cleared. Yeah.
Music law in general is
I mean, you gotta protect the artists, right? You can't just steal another artist. Right. You wouldn't want someone stealing your shit and making it their own. So,
but something I do kind of similar to sampling is I'll cook up something that like, okay, I'm obviously not gonna rap on that. Like that's like a Target commercial, like we were talking about. That's something that's so different to me that I won't like. Maybe I can submit it for sync licensing, which eventually I got to do. But usually I'll take that and I'll just make it into an MP3 and then I'll just chop that up into different things. Now I've made some of my best beats. Vibing with the Gang, the one I made with Makari, shout out Makari again. That's one of my favorite songs, and that's another collaboration that made me realize like the power of it. Yeah. But it's on some real Houston shit. Like it was just on like a regular piano type deal, but then I pitched it down and made it like slower and like it's like I sampled myself, but it really sounds like I sampled like something. So it's like that's the closest I'll get to sampling. But it's about all I can speak on my production.
So we've talked about the different processes. What about you say you make your own cover arts, and I've noticed that all your cover arts are hand drawn. Yeah. I guess talk about that. Why do you do it? How do you do it? Where do you see yourself in terms of continuing to do it in the future? If you get more, hopefully more success, more fame, are you going to continue to be hands on and do your own shit? Or you're going to hire somebody? Talk us through that.
Yeah. So I've actually put a lot of thought into that. So the reason why I originally started doing it is because my first song that I made to release is called Too Much. And that one looks hand-drawn, but I really didn't draw it. I was really just trying to hurry up and come up with the cover so I can release it. Gotcha. So it's like, you'll probably be able to put it on the video or whatever, but it's like a little hand like this. Gotcha. It's like
we'll slap it on right here.
Yeah. Hey, that'd be lit. So it's really just like what's it called? Like the stock images. Yeah. Like just a stock drawn hand like that, and then it has the 2. Yeah. And I put the letters much around it, like you see right there probably. So it's like I just photoshopped on my iPad. I just took that, put a black background on it, and then put the MCH on it to make it say Too Much. And I was like, okay, I'm clever as shit. Like blah blah. But then I was looking at it after. I was like, bro, I could have drawn that. Yeah. So then. Let me see. The second one I dropped, I believe, was Lil More Belief, which was originally recorded in like 2020. That's one of my I'm a pessimist in that song. It was 2020. Who wasn't? But that one, I was like, I like the hand thing with the last one, and this one I could just do like that. So I just drew it myself. Well, really, I'll either take a picture of my hand or I'll just look up a picture of somebody doing it and I'll just draw it. Gotcha. And with my cover. There's no meaning behind it, but like a lot of them have like hands in them, like different ways. Catch a Vibe is like this. Yeah. That's
a good point. I didn't notice that.
Yeah. How I Get By is holding a Henny bottle like that. That's based off real life. I be holding Henny bottles. I was holding one probably 2 hours ago. Yeah, but my favorite cover I made was Crackheaded Alien. And it's like, first of all, you can look it up. That's the only song you will find titled Crackheaded Alien. So, hate me or love me, I broke a world record right there. Like, that's the only song I could tell Siri, play Crackheaded Alien, and it's mine instantly. You know, I say too much, it'll play Drake, some Zimbabwe guy, like, it'll play whatever else.
Yeah, it's hard to come up with unique titles.
Yeah.
There's a lot of songs out there. Crackheaded Alien.
Yeah. 1-on-1. Somebody probably gonna see this, but okay, I'm gonna make Crackheaded
I got you.
Alien too.
I'm gonna make a bigger one.
Right. Yeah, but that one's my favorite drawing of them all, because like, I guess the main reason I do it is because I like drawing. I loved drawing as a kid. Like, loved drawing. I remember 4th grade, I didn't get Artist of the Year for our school. I cried. 5th grade, I got it. I don't know. I don't know if it was a Cynthia Award, but I was drawing my ass off. So I'm gonna take credit out of the way.
Gotcha.
So I always loved drawing. So it's like, to me, it's more like an excuse to draw, because like I don't find the free time to just go and draw here and there. Like, nah. But whenever it's a cover, it's like, I'm not just gonna look up a stock image and just have that on there always.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what made me draw mine. But I feel like when I dropped my first album, I got one person in mind that I might want to do, like, have them do it.
Like, commission it?
Yeah. But I'm not going to put that out there until it happens.
Yep.
When it happens, I'll be able to look back and be like, I did that shit.
Yeah, gotta gatekeep that person.
Gatekeep, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out CK. I'm not going to say who CK is, but one day y'all going to learn.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, as we're wrapping up, I wanted to ask you, is there anything you want to say to new and upcoming producers, anyone trying to, get into music, thinking about getting into music? Basically, what advice would you give yourself in high school? You're in 10th grade, you're downloading GarageBand. What advice do you want to hear?
If I could tell 10th grade me, that's a whole other hour. But pretty much, I just say, like, stay true to yourself. Like, you're going to see a lot of people popping on the same shit that other people popping on, but that don't mean it's for you. Like, don't try to mold yourself to their standard. Try to mold yourself to you and make their standards mold to you. Like, if they really fuck with it, if they're the right people to listen to you, they going to fuck with it. If they're not, then they're not. Like, I'm not in it, 10th grade me. You're not here to be Drake. You're here to be you. You're here to be the authentic you. Give your truth out. So when it's all said and done, you got something to be proud of, something to be real about, and you get to look back on your life as you and not an imitation of somebody else. That's the biggest thing I could tell 10th grade me. He figured it out.
Before we end this interview, is there anything that we should be looking out for? Anything that should be on our radar? Any links you want us to pre-save?
Ooh, okay. So I don't got the links yet. But what I will say is, first of all, the song I just dropped with Nick Izayah and Shetty Banks, that hoe go crazy, that hoe go stupid.
On all streaming platforms.
All streaming platforms.
Links in the
YouTube.
description.
Yes, sir. That one goes crazy. That's my first song with 2 features. Really my second song with any features. But now that hoe goes crazy. Shout out Nick Izayah. Verse on the free. Killed that shit. My next 2 tracks I got coming up. The next one, I don't know when you're releasing this, so I'm not finna say when it's releasing. But like that hoe, it's an R&B type joint. It's for my one and only. So if you don't fuck with it, that's cool. But I fuck with it heavy. That hoe goes crazy, something different than anything I've ever done. But then the one after that, I'm finna have another feature. And that hoe, if you don't think I can rap yet, you gonna know. That's all I'm gonna say.
You mentioned it earlier.
So I'm gonna let y'all motherfuckers know when it's time. So I'll be on the lookout. I&M Prod on Instagram, Zayah Music.
Links all in the description. Follow him, everything. Appreciate you coming by.
Yes, sir.
You got a good interview. We'll see y'all later. Peace.